Welcome back to my channel. I am back with another review. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much to everybody who has subscribed to my channel. I appreciate you all. And let's just get right into this review. So they end up starting this reunion off talking about all the drama surrounding Jackie. And look, that was pretty much the entire season of this show, was everybody finding out the things that Jackie was allegedly saying behind their backs to this woman, Sunday, who was supposed to be Jackie's friend. And basically Brooke said that she saw proof that Jackie was actually talking behind everybody's back and that Sunday wasn't actually lying. Now look, I don't know if Jackie said everything that Sunday is saying that Jackie was saying behind everybody's back, but she did take accountability for some of the things that she did say. And I mean, look, I'm glad that Jackie did take accountability for some of the things that she said about these women, because some of the stuff that she said, especially about Brandy, was definitely hurtful. But I just feel like they need to keep that same energy for everybody on the show. And this is not me making an excuse for the things that Jackie was saying about people. I'm just saying that on this show, everybody talks about each other behind their backs, and they definitely talk bad about Jackie behind her back and to her face. They say the nastiest things about her possible, and they don't ever have to apologize or take accountability for anything that they say about her or anybody else for that matter, because we just saw it last season where they did some things to some of the new girls, and then when the new girls retaliated, everybody said that the new girls were wrong. So I just hope that if they're going to have all this energy for Jackie because she was talking behind people's backs, that they do the same thing next season when somebody else is doing it too, because they were acting like they were completely innocent this season and they weren't. But at this point in the reunion, Jackie and Brandy end up getting into a very heated back and forth, because obviously they brought up the fact that Jackie allegedly said that the only reason Brandy would be interesting on the show is if she decides to get a divorce or have another baby. And I understand that can be hurtful because Brandy can't have another baby. She could only have one. So it was definitely insensitive if Jackie did really say that, and she did apologize to Brandy about it. So I'm guessing she did say it. However, the energy that Brandy has for Jackie is odd to me, because the way that Laura came at Brandy in Mexico and the way that Evelyn was talking to Brandy throughout this season was definitely way worse than anything that Jackie said or did. So I'm confused as to why she has all this energy for Jackie and nobody else. Because honestly, the reason why things got heated between Brandy and Jackie during this reunion is because Brandy started going off about Jackie saying that if she gets a divorce from her husband, she'll be more interesting for the show. And Brandy got upset and said that Jackie needs to get a divorce from her husband. And that's when Jackie started saying that she didn't want Doug mentioned. So they started going back and forth. They're pointing in each other's faces. They're kind of slapping each other's hands out of the way. So things was getting pretty ugly between the two of them. And I just didn't understand why, because I just feel like them two arguing with each other is pointless. So the host ends up questioning Jac'elle on what problem she has with Jackie, and she basically tried to say that she doesn't have an issue with Jackie, but that she doesn't like that Jackie was talking bad about her voice to Sunday. And Jackie did admit during this reunion that she did make a comment about the way that Jac'elle's voice sounds, but to be honest with you, I feel like Jac'elle's being petty, because at the end of the day, she's joined in with the other ladies since last season. When it comes to Jackie, she didn't create her own problem with Jackie. She went off of what Brooke and Evelyn's issues with Jackie was, and she was kind of following behind them, because Jackie literally didn't do anything to her. So if Jackie did say something about Jac'elle, I could kind of understand why, because Jac'elle has participated in with these girls when they talk about Jackie. But then they start talking about Brandy again and about the last conversation she had with her husband Jason, where she basically said that she kind of wanted to take a little bit of a break from their marriage, and that she was moving to LA full time with their son, and that she needed her space and her independence. And basically she said that she loves Jason and she does want to be with him, but at the same time, sometimes she feels like she deserves better, but another part of her wants to keep her family together. So she hasn't decided whether or not she's going to leave Jason or not. I honestly don't think that she's going to get a divorce from Jason, because I don't think that she wants to. I think that she wants to stay married because she wants to be with him. I feel like she's been with him for so long that she doesn't know how to be without him, and I feel like she doesn't know how that's going to be, and she's probably afraid. And that's why she decides to stay, because some people do stay with people because they're used to them, they're comfortable, and they don't want to have to start over with somebody new. So I feel like that's probably what Brandy's going through, although I'm not in her personal life, so I don't know how she actually feels. But the host did end up bringing up the fact that every time Evelyn and Brandy got into it, Evelyn would always throw the fact that she's still with her cheating husband in her face. And obviously, Brandy was upset by that. And Evelyn did apologize to Brandy. She said that she was sorry for that and that she won't do it again the next time they get into a back and forth. But that the reason why she was doing it is because she doesn't like Jason, which really seemed to confuse Brandy because she said that Evelyn doesn't really know Jason. And then at the same time, she didn't understand why just because she doesn't like Jason, that means that she has to use it as a weapon against her. And look, I'm not a big fan of Evelyn, but she was right when she said that the reason why she brought that up during her arguments with Brandy is because that's what people do when they argue. They talk shit and they try to hit below the belt, and that is what a lot of people do. I'm not saying that it's right, but that's what a lot of people do in arguments, and Brandy's guilty of doing that as well because she did it with Jackie this season. When they got into an argument, she started hitting below the belt too. So, I mean, she knows what it's like to get into arguments with people. Do I think that it's right for people to constantly throw the fact that she's with her cheating husband still in her face? No, but at the same time, she knew to expect that coming into this season because that's one of the only things that they can really say about Brandy. And if she's so embarrassed about her husband's cheating and she doesn't like it, I don't understand why she stayed with him in the first place. But I will say that Brandy was definitely standing on business during this reunion because she stepped out of her shell and she was calling everybody out, mainly Evelyn and Brooke, which I was glad about because nobody ever calls out Evelyn and Brooke. The only person that did this season was only Jackie because she was beefing with them, and everybody else followed behind Evelyn and Brooke this season. And so I was glad to see Brandy step out and actually call them out because she definitely called out Brooke during this reunion because she did say that when Evelyn was talking bad about her marriage to Jason in front of Brooke, Brooke sat there and she didn't say anything, and she felt some type of way about that because she felt like she should have had her back. And look, I can see both sides of that situation because Brooke did say that the reason why she didn't check Evelyn for talking about Brandy's marriage to her is because she didn't want to get in the middle of their beef because she's friends with both Evelyn and, Brandy. And I can understand that, not wanting to get in the middle of it because it has nothing to do with you. And then on top of that, if the two of them end up making up with each other, it's just going to make things awkward on her. So I can understand her wanting to stay out of a beef that's not hers. However, I can also see Brandy's side of things too because she didn't necessarily want Brooke to go off on Evelyn about it, but I definitely feel like because Brooke is friends with Evelyn, she could have told Evelyn that because she's friends with Brandy, she didn't want her to talk bad about Brandy's situation in front of her because it makes her feel uncomfortable, and I feel like Brandy would have been okay with that. But the host definitely ends up putting Evelyn in the hot seat because she tells her that it was kind of a double standard when she made it a big deal when Brandy ended up inviting Jackie to an event, even though Evelyn ended up turning around and doing something worse because she ended up inviting both Cheyenne and Jackie on the trip to Mexico, even though Brooke didn't want to be around neither one of them because she doesn't get along with them. And I'm glad that the host said something to Evelyn about that because it just shows that there's always a double standard with people on this show because she made it a big deal that Brandy invited Jackie to an event and then turned around and did the same thing but 2 times worse because she also ended up inviting Cheyenne, who Brooke also really doesn't get along with. So to me, it was good that finally the host ended up calling out Evelyn for something she did because usually she's able to get away with everything. And at this point, Cheyenne is actually on stage while they end up showing the clips of the fight between Brandy, Jackie, Cheyenne, and Brooke at the Mexico trip. And basically, Cheyenne said that she wasn't jumping up during the fight to try to fight Brandy or jump Brandy. She said the reason why she jumped up was to have Jackie's back. And by having her back, she wanted to break up the fight and make sure that Jackie didn't end up getting hurt. But Brooke took it as she was trying to fight Brandy, and that's the reason why she jumped up. I think Brooke knows that, Cheyenne was not trying to jump Brandy. I think that she jumped up because she was trying to have Brandy's back, but also because she doesn't like Cheyenne and she wanted to have a reason to get into it with her. And I'm not a big fan of Cheyenne. However, I do like that she stood her ground because when you're a new girl on the season of this show, you have to stand your ground. Otherwise, they're going to walk all over you. And I think they know at this point that Cheyenne's not one to play with. But I did not like the way that Brandy was trying to act like a victim of Jackie during that fight in Mexico at the dinner table because she's the one that brought that on herself, and she's the one who kept the conversation going when both Laura and Jackie were trying to end the conversation. She kept asking them the same questions over and over again, and then on top of that, Laura was the one that was really checking Brandy, and she didn't have that energy for Laura that she had for Jackie. Now, Jackie did raise her voice at Brandy, but the way that Laura was coming at Brandy, I thought that Brandy Brandi would have had that energy for her, and she didn't. She turned it around on Jackie, and then she tried to make it seem like Jackie was the one that threw the first dig at her at the dinner table when she wasn't. Brandi got upset because Laura checked her and she felt some type of way about it, got quiet at the table, and then ended up coming at Jackie by bringing up the whole prostitution thing. And that's when her and Jackie ended up getting into it, and that's when they started throwing digs at each other, and that's when things almost ended up getting physical. So I just really don't understand why she was sitting at this reunion trying to act like a victim of Jackie's when she's the one that caused all that drama at the dinner table in the first place in Mexico. Now, once again, I am glad that Brandi was actually speaking up at this reunion, though, when it comes to Brooke and Evelyn, because she definitely called everybody out, saying that everybody follows Brooke and Evelyn and that everybody acts like they're afraid of them because they won't speak up. And Jac'elle immediately jumped up because she must have been reading the comments of everybody saying that she's a follower, and she tried to immediately say that she doesn't follow anybody and that she's not afraid of anybody on the show. Now, look, I don't think that Jac'elle is afraid of anybody, but I think she wants to keep her spot on the show, and she definitely wants to fit in with the in crowd, and that's the reason why she follows up behind Brooke and Evelyn, mainly Brooke. Maybe she really does like the two of them. However, you can't tell me that Jac'elle doesn't think that anything that Brooke and Evelyn does is wrong and that she co-signs everything they do. I think she co-signs it on camera because she wants to stay within the group, because she saw what happened to the other two girls last season when they didn't get with the program, and I don't think she wants to be like them. Now, during the reunion, they very briefly talked about Jackie and Brooke's beef throughout the season and how the two of them decided to be cordial with each other and let the drama go. And basically, Brooke said that she doesn't want anybody bringing up anything that has to do with her daughter anymore. And honestly, I'm glad that they kept this short and sweet, because the drama between her and Jackie has been going on for way too long. And then on top of that, I don't think that her daughter should be mentioned on the show. I think that it's good that Brooke finally said to everybody on the reunion that she doesn't want it mentioned at all, anything that has to do with her daughter. I think that that's great, and I don't think that they should mention it anymore, because I just think the whole thing got a little bit disrespectful at one point, and I just felt like it was becoming too much. So I think they need to keep each other's families out of the show drama. Now, at the very end of this reunion, they ended talking about Jennifer's relationship with Christian, and basically everybody felt some type of way about her relationship with Christian. They just wasn't saying it to her face, and it's obvious that everybody thinks that he's no good, because everybody expressed it to Jennifer at the reunion. Basically, the host ended up questioning Jennifer because she said that Christian originally said that he owed a little under $250K in restitution, but then a lawyer looked up his case and found out that he only owed $12,000 in restitution. And that's when Jennifer started saying that people were lying and that there was medical bills involved in that and a bunch of other stuff that was involved in the $250K. And then she tried to dismiss it and say that he already paid his restitution, so he doesn't have anything to do with the case anymore. And basically Jennifer just started getting really defensive, trying to defend her man to everybody, because Evelyn said that she feels some type of way about Christian and her being with him because of the domestic violence situation that he was in. And she cleared it up immediately and said it wasn't a domestic violence situation. He didn't get charged with domestic violence. He got charged with, I think she said, false imprisonment, which to me is a form of domestic violence, but that's just my opinion. I guess she thinks differently, but she tried to say that what people are saying about Christian's case is not true. He never did anything to the woman. He just told her not to leave the house and that they wanted to work things out. And that's the reason why he got false imprisonment charges, which I don't believe that, but that's just my opinion. I didn't look up his case or see the details of it, so I really don't know. But I know that a lot of other people are saying that it's a lot more than what Christian is telling to Jennifer. And Brooke ended up bringing up the fact that she felt some type of way about Jennifer saying that if Christian would have just let the woman go drive her car while she was drunk and get into a car accident, he wouldn't have even been involved in this situation. Obviously, that's triggering to Brooke because of the way that her daughter ended up passing away. And then on top of that, she just felt like it was wrong for Jennifer to try to downplay the woman in this situation's story, because it's not her place to tell the victim's story. And it's definitely not. It's not her place to tell the victim's story, because even though Christian told her one thing that happened, this woman has a story of what happened as well, and I don't think that it's right for them to talk about it on the show without this woman being able to tell her side. Now, they end up being really messy at the end of this reunion and letting everybody, including Jennifer, listen to a never before heard clip of Evelyn talking about how she really feels about Christian. She said that she feels like Christian is a scammer and that he's doing a lot of scamming, and that because Jennifer has gotten into a relationship with a scammer before and got scammed herself, she doesn't feel like Jennifer Jennifer has street smarts and that she really did want to look into Christian's background because she wanted to see if there was something sketchy in there. And look, I think that it wasn't right for Evelyn to say this behind Jennifer's back and not to her face. However, she wasn't saying anything wrong. She's absolutely right. I feel like she was saying everything that everybody else was thinking about Christian. Everybody thinks there's something off about him, but at the end of the day, they can tell Jennifer this information till they're blue in the face. She's not going to listen to them because they all said it to her at this reunion, and she still ended up recently marrying Christian anyway. And basically all the women at this reunion told Jennifer that they felt like they were tiptoeing around her feelings when it comes to her relationship with Christian, that they felt like they couldn't tell her how they really felt because she was going to get upset with them and not want to talk to them anymore. And that was true because at the reunion she was getting really upset and defensive and really defending Christian, which is okay. She can defend Christian, but she's treating her friends some type of way. And at the end of the day, if things don't work out with Christian, those are the people that she's going to be crying to about it. So hopefully that doesn't end up happening to her because she did end up deciding to marry Christian anyway. But things got really messy at this reunion when it came to that situation, but it ended on a good note because everybody gave each other a gift and they said some nice things about each other. It was a little bit of shade thrown, but it ended pretty well. I thought that this was an okay season. I didn't like everybody ganging up on one person, which was Jackie. I just don't like one person against everybody. Hopefully they don't do that next season, but based on how the way that this reunion went, I think that Jennifer and Brandy are going to have a lot of issues next season with a lot of these other girls. So those are my thoughts on this week's episode of Basketball Wives LA. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button for me. I appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos and hit the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much to everybody who has subscribed to my channel. I appreciate you all. And until next time, I will talk to you guys in my next video.